Hey there, fellow hunters. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival. Episode 61, Desperate for Leather. As you can see above my head, I've actually chosen the next priority for myself rather than leaving it up to polling, because it's something that has dramatically lagged behind. In order for me to do more stuff, and be safe while doing it, basically traveling farther from home carries an immense amount of risk. Because when I travel far from home, your stuff despawns when you die after like 10 minutes, and I don't have armor. And all it takes is like 2 hits from a hyena or a wolf or something and I'm dead. Like less than 2 hits from a bear. The TLDR is, I think it's time that we start addressing the whole like lack of armor thing, which is why ramping up leather and iron production is the priority above my head. So, let's talk about that. The leather production. In order for me to get... And I could also be compelled to do gambesons. Like, that's not necessarily something I'd be against. And if we did gambesons and finally changed course from the leather production that we were going to do, the armor that we were going to build, that would be fine. And I'll probably leave that up to polling in just a minute. But our leather production failed because grass caught fire and spread over to the barrels and burnt the barrels down. So I've like made sure that doesn't happen by leaving no grass here. I was actually surprised to jump that far, but you know, so be it. So at the moment we've got prepared hides ready for a lime water wash. Oh no. Well, what are these? Why am my brain's blinking? Prepared hides need to go into strong tannin. Okay, so we have 12 hours before we can put them in the strong tannin. Got it. That's what's going on. I forgot where we left off on that. So just to reiterate, we have a whole lot of iron in meteor iron. I won't be able to use the meteoric iron unless we find borax and make a iron anvil. But all the iron that we have could make iron armor. So what I wanted to ask is, what are we doing with our materials at this point? I want to make something out of this stuff. There's no point in generating leather and iron and meteoric iron and not using it. So the question is, what armor should I make? Ultimately, I want to make armor, and it's going to be relatively up to you what that looks like. Should I make gambeson? So the gambeson that I'm referring to here is, let's pause the game while I'm doing this. We could do... So this stuff is protection tier 2. And it would require a lot of linen, which we already have, and we're growing at the moment. And this is the least speed encumbering armor of tier 2. But it's and it has worse flat damage protection than other armors, but it's the most versatile, and it doesn't really hurt your accuracy. One of the issues that you end up having here is if you wear leather armor, this is protection tier 1, and it's not going to really protect us from like hyenas or boars or typically the animals we find out in the forest, which is why I don't think the leather stuff is good enough. And then of course there's the jerkins, which are even worse. It's protection tier 1 at even lower protection levels. You really only make jerkins as it is an ingredient for burgandines or chainmail. So the way I see it is, and I wonder if there's just a way to show all armor. Yes. So we're going to be ignoring improvised, as improvised is protection 0/0. It like protects you from like chickens, right? Or like drifters that don't exist in this world. You've got lamellar armor, where lamellar armor, like tin bronze lamellar armor would be protection tier 2. It's relatively easy to make, but it does carry some penalties here. You've got Gam armor, which we just went over, which doesn't have a lot of penalties for its armor. And then if we wanted to, we could go even higher. Brigandine is like, I would really consider it like compromise armor. It's protection tier 2 armor that's a little bit more protective, but it kind of lacks the... It would be good enough for like most of the forest creatures for that matter. And then you could go all the way up to chain, and then I wouldn't go beyond chain because going beyond chain doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But if we did chain, that's protection tier 3, so it would really protect us from tier 2 animals, where we could tank tier 2 animals with no real struggle, and we could even do meteoric iron if we wanted to get real fancy. So the question is, when I ask what kind of armor we make, keep in mind materials, investment costs, all that stuff. So we have a Gambios armor, we've got iron chain, we've got meteor iron chain, and then I guess as a compromise, I will also include Brigandine iron. So the only advantage of Brigandine iron is it's a little bit easier to craft and repair, as it's just leather and iron plates, not like chains. So it's simpler armor with more penalties, I guess, would be a way to phrase it. And here is the choice. And this is the last choice. Basically, once we choose this, I'm like not really changing my mind anymore. So at the moment, if we wanted to make Gamb armor, iron armor, or Brig iron armor, I have what we need for that. It does not require me to make an iron anvil. If we want anything with meteoric in it, I would need to make an iron anvil, which means seeking out borax. I think it's likely that there'd be borax down this way, because borax does spawn naturally in slate. So going cave diving around here in this very clear, or shale, going cave diving or prospecting around here, I think would lead ultimately to finding borax, because this is one big shale. Like you can kind of see this whole circle here is shale. So I think there's probably borax down there, but whether we want to like spend time seeking it out or not, it's a totally different matter. All right. It looks like iron chain is likely going to be the popular choice here. And in that regard, what we're going to want to do is to make sure that we have leather going through the system. So for reference, if we want an iron chain helmet, it's 3 iron chains. The body armor is a jerkin and 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 chains. And then the pants is a jerkin and 6 chains. And the jerkins themselves is a considerable amount of leather. So I think if we want iron chain armor... What was that? I swear I just saw like a... Oh, it's wind particles. What we're going to end up wanting is just a lot of leather, because I don't even have my last leather backpack. So what I'm going to be aiming to do right now is to hunt some additional animals. So let's go switch out our backpack for the butchery bag and hunt some more animals that will yield leather. One of the problems, of course, with like polled priorities is you can end up in a situation where you just keep changing goals to the point where you never really accomplish like something big, like making a set of armor. So that's sort of a goal that I'm not willing to put off any longer, I guess. What we need to do is we need to find some nice, plump animals. And yes, my bow staff is dry. If I wanted to make a bow, but all that would do is delay me farther because I don't really have arrows. So instead of like waiting to make a whole bunch of arrows and that would take like half an hour, I'll just slash animals in the face until they die. And that gets me leather faster. Hypothetically. Alright, we've got 1 more minute left on the poll, but I'm pretty sure I think I can predict the winner at this point. The other thing that we could be doing while we're out here is like a sort of low-key ecological survey to see if there's any goats reasonable enough to the base that they could be lured. Ideally, I would want... Ooh, high-fruit soil. Nice. Ideally, I would want the adults, like a nanny goat, and lure a nanny goat into a pen. Because if I trap a kid goat that is, oh, there's some sort of predator here. If I trap a kid goat, what subsequently will likely end up happening is like it will take a very long time for it to mature, and I'm like gonna have to feed it all along, and then, you know, once it finally matures, it still needs to breed, so I would need to capture a breeding pair of kid goats. It gets a little bit more complicated. I would like, if I want to start planning for like long-term projects, in other words, even though this series is determined on a week-by-week basis, because the excuse of not taking on a long-term project just because there might not be a next week is, I don't necessarily agree with anymore. Okay, so I see a boar right there. Perfect. I wouldn't mind going to mess with the hyenas. I just don't have like a hyena prowling ground that close to me. The closest hyenas would be maybe way over here. So if I need to, if I'm running out of like local game, yeah, I will, obviously. Also, in-game, it is October 3rd. We're getting kind of later in the season, but because we're so close to the tropics, that doesn't really matter. Oh, you survived that. I did not think you would. Oh, and there's backup. Oh, you just crushed yourself? Stupid. I'll just field harvest. This little piggy went splat. I feel like I have a stronger fox and having a harder time kill. There we go, there's one. Ow. And this is why I want armor. One of the issues is, Oh, Stash, thank you for the gifted subs. One of the issues that I'm gonna have is that, carrying the bag slows me down. But you can see how, like, dangerous boar are to me with my non-existent armor. It's no joke. I mean, they could very easily kill me if I'm not careful. Yep, just like that. Splat! And there goes all my nutrition. One of the issues with the lips of, or rather the, like, banks of rivers or whatever, is they can do... This is more applies to, it more applies to, like, wolves when you're going downhill. And let me finish that poll. Wolves have a tendency to just, like, suicide dive down hills when you, when you're running from them, where they will overtake you very, very, very quickly. Would a wooden shield help? No, not really. Not with it. Not in that last death instance. It would have done virtually nothing. The TLDR is I'm just going to be hunting boars like this. The same answer for building a shield is going to be the answer I said for building a bow. I'm not adding any more crafting for a task. I can just, because, you know, this is close to home. So I'm just going to throw myself at this task until it's done. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I'm still in my own proverbial backyard, so it's not a real issue. The only issue is losing the satiety. But, we have a whole bunch of berry bushes back at the base that will fulfill the fruit satiety pretty soon. Meaning that the satiety loss is, not that big of a deal. I think vegetables are going to be the hardest one for me to fulfill. Because, those berry bushes are going to help with the fruit. Yeah, this terrain is not nice. At least I still have a little bit of daylight. Would have been way more annoying without a torch or lantern. Alright, we've entered the boar territory. They're usually pretty passive until you, like, mess with them. Unless they have youngins around. Piglets, and this goes for most critters. They get a lot more aggressive when you're around their young than when they're by themselves. They get protective. So if you see hyena pups or piglets, be more cautious, in other words. I'm coming for you two. Splat. Okay, I don't have a lot of food satiety right now, but, you know, whatever. I'll fix that when I'm home. And the marshy areas around here work to my benefit because I can overtake them in the water. There we go. There's our 3. Alright. Here's some light. Let me just double check where I died to make sure I picked everything up, and wow! Mikey! Ah, damn, thank you for the cheer. Between you and Stash, you guys keeping my day funded. Alright, I don't see anything else here. Well, so let's bring these boar babies home. Oh, I probably don't need the pinned fruit trees anymore. We're kind of done with that. I mostly planted them. I mean, you voted for it, so that's why I did it, but it was also just to demonstrate the mechanics of planting fruit trees. And we'll be able to see the growth phases. I might end up, like, once I have some leather going through the queue, I might end up allowing you guys to vote whether I like fix the orchard for spacing, because I like big derped and put them way close together. Basically, you have to leave like 4 or 5 spaces between, and I did not. Oh, don't bite me. Oh, this is cool. I like finding like natural caves like that. But the important things is going to be to make sure to, if we want armor, I'm going to need a lot of iron and I'm going to need a lot of leather. So making sure to keep the leather and the iron primarily moving along. But both those things have waiting periods. When you when you've thrown your iron into a bloomery, you gotta wait. When you leather, of course, needs to go through the barrels and wait. So, but setting up a second set of leather barrels is also something I want to do. Having a second lime wash, second weak, hey, crabs. Second weak tannin and second strong tannin. Oh, it's not crabs, I'm starving. Question, would making fallow fields and forests spawn horsetail in the tropics? Depends on the growing temperature requirements of horsetail. I think if I was on a hilltop, maybe, but it might be too warm at my latitude for that. I could be mistaken though. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I have found some horsetail already. But it's not a farmed crop that you can propagate. I think it should be though. I think herbalism should be a thing in Vintage Story myself. All right. Let's go get the bucket. I should probably do a better job of not leaving that door open. Whatever. And I think we'll do these in parallel. And maybe we make some humble pie or something at the end of this. Oh, my torch fell in the water when that happened. Excuse me. Oh, what? I can't put a unlit torch. Whatever. I wanted to put an extinguished torch in there to light it. The game was like, no. Only lit torches. It's like, oh, fine. Alright, I know I have some, I thought I had some pie. I have a lot of eggs for scrambled eggs. I guess maybe I'll make soybean pie. I thought I had more, but apparently I don't. I'll make it out of amaranth grain. Get rid of all these sad noises. Alright, it's pie time. Imagine, like, feeling like you're starving to death and deciding, you know what? I'm gonna make myself a soybean pie. I guess I could have made that out of blood, but actually, I'm already using the buckets, so that wouldn't have really worked. But this will help to top up my satiety for grain again, and for protein. And these bad boys are done soon. Come on. I'll probably just end up eating like some raw mushroom or something just to get rid of this like annoying sad sax noise. Because it'll stave off the hunger like long enough that I won't have the like alert noises continually. I could have had like a smoked blood sausage. That would have been a little bit smarter, but whatever. So yeah, for those that didn't realize, the boar that field smashed itself, crushed boar can't be butchered in the same way that, like, killed boar can. So I just field harvested it because you don't get a whole lot back from it. So I got leather, which is primarily what I was after anyway. So it worked out in my favor, I guess. Alright, while I'm at it, let's go ahead and make some more pies. If we can catch the oven while it's hot. Come on. Down. Up. I mean, this is as fresh as you get. All right, 3 more pies. I doubt the oven will stay hot enough long enough, but who knows. You know what? All right, this pie, just for speed, I'll do soybean, but the next one, maybe I'll do, like, mushroom, because my vegetable satiety still needs some help. So I'll do 2 soybean pies and 2 shiitake pies, or some sort of mushroom pie. Oh, right. No, it has to be grown. Yeah, I forgot about that. That won't work. Yeah, I only really have proteins. So I guess it's just going to be protein and grain, whatever. The issue is the only valid foods for these types of pies are like grown farm crops. All right, still part baked. And those look bloodless now, so I'll process them in a minute. I'll probably end up smoking a whole lot of meat, I imagine. And then processing some offal in this barrel. Oh, well, we have cassava, actually. I could have made cassava pies, probably. Alright, so all the leather I got from my expedition, I can start processing the lime wash now. Got 5 of it. Still part baked. Clay oven might be getting a little cool. I'll probably have to restoke it. It still rose. Let's see if we can do this last one too. Because, yeah, having died, my total max health is taking a hit, obviously, as a result of my loss of satiety. So, getting that back is smart. And you need a little bit longer. There we go. Combining the buckets of blood. Oh, actually. There. Now the awful wash is done. Oh, and the strong tannins all set too. Swell as hell. There we go. So in 4.5 days, we'll have some leather off of that. And then it's going to take about a week for that hide to become useful. But it's in process. Is this where I can keep fat? No? Okay. I'll have to put the fat away eventually. So, you got smoked. Put you away. And then smoke the prime meats. And red meats. All but 5. And then maybe I'll do... We have 7 left, so I'll do like a 3-3 and something stew. Once I get the smoker going. So just a whole lot of food prep. So it doesn't go to waste. I think on average you get like 1 leather per kill, to answer your question. So it wasn't that I got unlucky this time, I got lucky last time, as I think would be more accurate. We have a lot of flax that is nearly mature, but most of the farm won't need tending for a while. Alright, let's put the smoked cassava. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. The dried cassava, I'll just like put in here. It doesn't dry very quickly in here, though. What I need is a cassava drying basket. Oh, the pie. Yeah, thank you. Chard. Yum. I feel like, well, alright, I understand it's game mechanics, but I feel like 100 and... Well, that's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Never mind. So this will be my cassava dryer. I guess I'll put it here. And... drying rate in this container is still slow? Oh, whatever. I'm surprised. I don't know why. Would it be faster in here? Just all containers? Do I just have to hold on to it? Fine, whatever. I'll hold on to it. Alright, the last thing I was going to do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Don't know why I did it like that. Make a little stew so the red meat that did not end up getting smoked gets eaten too. Plus this will fulfill some of my vegetable needs. And once we butcher this pig, I'll run the offal through the offal wash. Does inside and outside matter for drying? I guess not. Of course, there's even more meat that I didn't account for. So maybe this stuff will go through another smoke, because that's 14 of 16 slots or whatever, so I guess that's fine. So put this stuff away to get... Oh, yeah, and there's one extra. I'll put that stuff away to get smoked later. A whole bunch of food prep. I'm sure my chickens need tending. And then I did want to make other barrels for... plus I need to replace the bees. You know, there's just a lot of maintenance. Alright, so here is the offal wash. So we can make humble pie or something like that. I don't need all of this lovely soybean pies on me. I'll just keep some of them. Don't need them all to rot. Someday I'll like label these things. Do I not have fat anymore? Maybe I don't. I think I used it up making all the axles and stuff. Okay, next task will be to feed the chickens, and then I'm gonna go get more iron. So I stopped milling my grain. And the reason I did that is I have so much flour now. Maybe I'll make like spelt beer or something. There we go. You're really panicky, huh? And they're all generation 1, which means, yeah, the chicks are generation 1. Oh, that's a rooster already? A Gen 1 rooster? Okay, cool. Go that way. Now, roosters will attack one another until they hit generation 10. So, I might need to kill any other cockerels before they become roosters to prevent fighting amongst themselves. To prevent the pecking order, in other words. Is it feasible to do a chest and shoot to keep the small trough filled? I don't think so. Don't I need raw meat? Or use some offal for the sausage? I could make sausages. I'm planning on making humble pie, not sausage. Because sausage is just all protein satiety, not grain satiety. So I'd rather make humble pie, which is grain and protein satiety. Because it helps with two things rather than just the one. Okie dokie. So that part's done. The chickens got fed. Let's do a run for iron. Because the other part of the equation is needing to get a lot more iron for the armor. I forget that I used to remember the full cost of full body chain. So each chain is a plate. So that's... And each plate is 2 ingots. So this is... let me just go to iron. So you don't think I'm making steel. So the helmet would be 6 ingots. Which I could do now. And then the body armor is 22 ingots. And the legs are 12 ingots. And obviously I'm going to need to make a little bit more iron before that's feasible. So down we go. Back to the iron mines, where the children yearn to be. But this time, I have an iron pick, which makes my life a little easier down here. I'll mine a little bit faster. The sad, damaged, echoing noise is pretty funny. Was it always? Yeah, it was here, right? So it was back here? Yes. Oh, God. Lantern in offhand. There we go. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.